If you're in a self-defense shooting in Illinois and you don't have a lawyer, you're looking at 7 to 9 years minimum of jail time while going through your trial if you don't have an attorney. This is a clip with Dave McDermott and I where he talks about exactly how the Safe Communities Act, or whatever bullshit they call it, affects you as the lawful concealed carry holder. So please watch this, and please understand that if you want somebody like Dave, who's never lost a case, join JM Training and Lethality University. We include your USCCA membership, elite level, totally free, guys, totally free. I'm leaving it at that. I cannot stress it enough. Here it is. Listen to Dave.
Something that you didn't ask that we can approach on a different day, because there's a lot to talk about, is just the significance of the fact that we no longer have bond in the state of Illinois, which drastically changes things as well. Because now you're either being released basically on your own recognizance with certain conditions you're supposed to comply with, pretrial conditions you're supposed to comply or adhere to, or you're being detained until the time of your trial.
Wow.
And I was very much against this whole Safety Act of doing this. Everybody else was against the Safety Act for a different reason. A lot of people were against the Safety Act. The majority of people were against the Safety Act because it's kind of like a catch and release argument that was being made. Like, why are we're just doing this? We're getting arresting people and putting them right back into society to go ahead and commit these crimes again. That's not why I was against it. What I was against forever, as soon as it was announced, the very first time it was announced, and still to this very day, is because this is abuse of discretion. What's happening, the people that are being attacked the most are the law-abiding citizens. The law-abiding 2A citizens, they're the ones being attacked. They're the ones that should have been most concerned about this for this particular reason. Because what happens is, when you're being charged with murder, attempt murder, or aggravated battery with a firearm, very serious charges, because you've just been involved in a self-defense shooting, that is the small print of the Pretrial Fairness Act, of the Safety Act itself, which is basically saying, hey, if we believe this person presents a danger to others, then it allows us the right to, since we no longer have cash bail, it allows us the right to go ahead and keep them detained until the time of trial.
Wow.
And the average murder trial, the last article that was run in Chicago, either Chicago Trib or one of the main newspapers out here in Chicago, the last article pertaining to these cases, it takes on average 7 years for a murder case to go to trial. So imagine you're defending yourself, and because of this act that's supposed to protect, it's supposed to be here to make sure that we're certain people can't afford bail, so we want to treat everybody equally. No, that's not the reason for this. If you want to treat everybody equally and certain people can't afford bail, you go back in there and you say you need to modify their bond because bond's not supposed to be oppressive. Since you set a bond, give them a bond that's affordable, let them out. Instead, we have no bail, and you are involved in a self-defense shooting, and you're now they're arguing that you cannot be released. And I can give crazy examples of this, but again, I want you to get back to this. I just wanted to take a moment because I don't think people really understand the significance of this Safety Act, because now the argument is, because you committed murder, because you committed attempt murder, because you committed aggravated battery with a firearm, and by the way, those are charges, those are mere allegations, but because that's what you're being accused of, you should not be released from custody, and you should have to remain in custody until so just to top everything else off, the attorney is doing this from Critical Response Team, contacting them. Those of us that are very aggressive with what it is that we do, we're gathering as much information as possible. We're trying to prevent additional information from being given and for being obtained very often. My clients, I don't like people calling 911. That's a completely different story for a different day. I'll explain different ways around calling 911. You're still protected, and it doesn't look like you're trying to avoid police contact. But I'm not a fan of calling 911.